harm, but I was always focused. I ain't waste no time. I ain't ever calling my name. I used to walk to work every day, me and my dog. Like in and out, I came out alright.
Hey y'all, it's your girl V, and I am back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a story time. I actually don't have a lot of story times on my channel. I do want to do more of them, but the only story time I have as of right now is my labor and delivery story. If you guys haven't watched that video, then definitely go check it out. It's very, very old. I think that was my very first video on YouTube, actually, and that was years ago. My son is almost 4, but yeah, that's the only story time I have. So I was like, I gotta bring this one to you guys. And before I get into the story, listen, y'all, this is a judgment-free zone. We all have some crazy stories. We've all been in like crazy situations with just people in general. So yeah, just sit back, enjoy the story, but just know this is a judgment-free zone, and it's just a funny story. And I hope the guy who I'm talking about doesn't see this video, because he does know I have a YouTube channel and he's been on my channel before. So I hope you don't see this video, but if you do, listen, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you guys like this story time, then definitely give me a thumbs up, but subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think about this story. Let's get into the video. So we are going to call this young man, we're going to call him Avon. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the whole backstory about me and Avon, just so you guys can have context and, you know, just know everything. So me and Avon went to high school together. I left my old high school 10th grade year, and I started a new high school 11th grade year, and I went there 11th and 12th grade, and I graduated there. So I met Avon 11th grade year, I believe. Yeah, I think it was 11th grade year. And yeah, we were just always cool. And then we got really close. We used to call each other best friend back then. So yeah, we were really close. We would always be together. And we had like a lot of classes together. We would eat lunch together. We were just really, really close back then. And now, I had a boyfriend back then, and he had a girlfriend. So we were really just friends. Like, I didn't really see him that way back then. Like, I was just, you know, friends with him. I don't know if he seen me that way back then, but yeah, I didn't see him that way back then. I just really, you know, see him as a friend. But yeah, so we were always just really close and cool. And when high school ended, we kind of just lost track. Like, we didn't really talk. We weren't as close as we were back in high school. But I would always see him out places. Like, it would be so random. Like, I would see him at Walmart. I would see him just out and about. And I would always find it so weird, like, how I would always see him over the years. Because I graduated high school about 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago. So it's been a while. And yeah, but we always follow each other on social media, and we would like each other's pictures, and we would like, you know, if like, say if I post something, he'll like, you know, message me on Snapchat or something. Like, it would just be like that, like very casual. But when this situation happened and we started talking to each other, I would see him at my apartment complex. Like, the first time it happened, I was leaving my apartment and somebody said my name. Like, they like said my name out loud, and I'm like, who the heck could this be? Like, I don't know anybody at these apartments, so who could this be? So I turn around and it's Avon. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what are you doing here? Like, it's been so long since I've seen you, how you been, like that type of thing. And he was just like, yeah, my cousin lives in these apartments, and I'm literally always here, and it's my first time seeing you. And I said, yeah, you know, I just moved in. I haven't been here that long. So yeah, so after that situation, I seen him a couple more times. And then the last time I seen him before we started talking, we were in the elevator with each other, and he was just like, oh, you know, it's so crazy how I always see you. Like, since high school, I've always seen you out just randomly. And I was like, yeah, I know. It must mean something. Like, you know, I just threw that out there, you know. But it was crazy because that time I seen him, y'all, I don't know what it was about him. It was just like this aura to him, like this just vibe to him. And I'm like, I never felt that towards him before. So it was just really weird, but I'm like, okay. So he's like, you know, hit me up on Snapchat, we need to catch up, da 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 da. So I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. So, you know, I went about my day, and a couple hours passed, and Carmelo, no. Sorry, my dog is like, come here. Yeah, but where was I? A couple hours passed, and I ended up messaging him on Snapchat, and I was just like, you looking real good. I just wanted to tell you. And he messages back and he says, oh, he was like, thank you, you got me blushing, da 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 da. So I'm like, okay. And from there we just started like texting and catching up and stuff like that. I'm like, y'all, I really wish I had wine for this story time, but I feel like I've been drinking so much like sweet stuff and just sugar that I need a water detox. So I'm really trying to like incorporate water for the next couple of days because I feel a little dehydrated. But anyways, let's get back to the story. So, you know, from there, we were just Snapchatting and we were just talking to each other and catching up. And then I guess he got tired of like Snapchat and he was just like, oh, what's your number? Let's just text. So we started texting, and after that we were just like talking to each other for a couple of days, like for a couple of days. And yeah, we're just catching up, just talking. You know, when you talk to somebody and it's fresh and it's new, y'all just really, you know, talking and just talking about random stuff. So he had asked me on a date to go out for breakfast, and I said, yeah, but it was for like a later date. So I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. You know, I'm down. So we were still just talking, you know, random stuff. And one day I was free. Like I was doing errands that day, but I knew later on that day I was gonna be free. Like my son was with his dad. I didn't really have anything planned. So I knew I was gonna be just home, bored, chilling, probably watching Netflix, nothing major. So I kind of felt like going to the movies. So I wanted to see A Quiet Place too. And I was texting him, he's like, oh, what you doing? And I was like, oh, you know, I'm thinking about going to the movies later. I want to watch this movie. And so he's like, what movie? And I told him, and he was like, oh, I've been wanting to watch that movie too. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, you know, if you have time later and you're not doing nothing, we could go together. So he's like, I am kind of busy today, but I'm gonna make time for you. Y'all, I love a busy man, but it's all about making time for me. That's what I like, because I feel like everybody could be busy, but if you're not trying to make time for me, then I can't deal with you. I can't associate with you. So yeah, so I'm like, oh, you trying to make time for me? I like that. Like, I'm with it. And that's one thing about him. Like, he always gave me like big energy. Like, he was just giving the girls energy. Like, I was fucking with it, like grown men, just, yeah. So I'm like, okay. And he was like, oh, what time was the movie? And I said there was like a showing. I think it was like 8 o'clock or something. Yeah, I think it was like around 8 something. And I was like, that's the time that they have. And he was like, okay. So I guess he was busy, so he didn't text me back right away. And that's when he texted me. He was like, oh, okay, I can go. Like, I freed up my schedule and everything. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he was like, oh, what theater do you want to go to? And just asking me everything about the movies. So I'm telling him, and he sends me a screenshot. So I'm like, what is this man sending me a screenshot of? You know, like when you're talking to somebody and they sending you something funny or like something they seen on Instagram or Twitter. I'm thinking that's what it is. So I'm like, okay, I open the message and I see the picture. Y'all, it's a screenshot of him buying the tickets online, picking our seats and everything. Like, everything was taken care of. So I'm like, energy. So I text him back and I'm like, oh, you know, thank you, I'll be ready. He was like, yeah, be ready at such and such. And he was gonna come pick me up. So, comes to get me to go to the movies. Y'all, he comes get me from my grandma's house because I was just in the area, so I just stopped at her house instead of coming all the way back home, making him pick me up and everything. So I was at her house, he picks me up. Y'all, his car is the car that I wanted before I got the car that I got right now. And I loved his car. Like, it was so nice. So I'm like, oh. And y'all, when I tell you he was looking good, he had on his little outfit. He had on his little collectible shoes. I don't even know the name of the shoes, but you could just tell that they're like collectibles. And he had on his like jewelry. He was looking good. And I was just like, And he was smelling good. That's one thing about him, y'all. Avon always smelled good. Like, I don't know what type of cologne he was using, but baby, I love cologne. Like, I love cologne. If you smell good, that is such a turn on to me. So we're in the car, we're going to the movies, and we're just talking, you know, just vibing, just chilling, all that good stuff. And we get to the movies, y'all. So I'm in the car, we're about to get out. I'm in the car. He walks around to my side of the car, opens the door. We're walking across the street to go inside the movie theaters. And he's like, no, get on my left side. You need to get on my left side. And just stuff like that, opening doors, just a real gentleman. Like, I love that. Like, that is such a good trait. You don't really see that much in men these days. So it was like, everything was just right for me. Like, everything he was giving was just, honey, baby, sweetie. So I'm like, okay. So we get inside the movie theaters, and that specific movie theater had a bar in there. So we decided to get some drinks, and then we went inside the movie theater, and we were watching the movie. And during the movie, he starts getting like just real, you know, touchy. Like, he grabs my hand and we're holding hands the whole movie, and we're watching it, and we're talking to each other, laughing about the movie, and just like talking about the movie and stuff like that. So yeah, the movie was cool, and I actually enjoyed my time with him. So we leave the movie theaters, and he drops me back to my car at my grandma's house, and then I went back home from my grandma's house. And I guess he was going somewhere, like to his friend's house or his cousin's house, somebody's house, to go chill with them for a little bit. So we're texting the whole time, of course, and he's like, oh, what you gonna be doing? I'm like, nothing, you know, I don't have no plans. I'm just gonna go home, watch some Netflix until I fall asleep and stuff like that. And prior to us going out on this date, y'all, he knows that I smoke occasionally. So he was always like, you know, we need to smoke one day together or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, we'll see, you know, maybe down the line. So he was like, oh, that night he was like, oh, do you want to smoke? So I'm like, yeah, okay. So after he gets from his, you know, whoever house he was at, I can't even remember what he said, but when he gets from whoever house he was at, he comes to my place, and we go on my balcony, and we were smoking. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. Oh, my grandma saw much video. So yeah, so we're smoking on my balcony, and y'all, I was high. That must have been like one of the highest times I've ever been. Like, I was high. So yeah, we were just chilling though. It was real funny. We were catching up. We were just chopping it up, talking, just, yeah, you know how it is when you smoking and you having a smoke session. You just chatterbox. We were just talking, and yeah, so then I was like, okay, we're gonna go back inside. So we go like inside and we were watching TV. I think I put on a movie or something. We were watching TV and I was just like laying on him. Like I had my head on his shoulder and I had my feet up on the couch. So I'm just like laying on him and he's just like rubbing my back and like kissing me on my forehead. And when I smoke, y'all, I get really sleepy. Like I get sleepy, I get hungry, I get all of those things. So I'm like really tired. Plus I didn't get a nap that day, so I was like really exhausted. So I'm like low-key falling asleep. I'm like low-key falling asleep. And I know he's like, this girl over here like falling asleep, like what the fuck? And yeah, so I'm like laying on him, I'm falling asleep kind of. And I'm just tired. But I could feel him kissing my forehead. I could feel him like, you know, rubbing on my back and stuff like that. Just being very sensual, just like, you know, caressing me and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh Lord, it's about to go downhill. Like, dog, I knew it. Like, I be seeing stuff before it happened. Like, I was like, oh Lord, we're gonna go downhill, Lord. So, and he think he was slick. He think he was real slick. So when I'm laying on him, he kisses me on the lips. Oh Lord, I see where this is about to go. And honestly, y'all, I really didn't want it to go here. Like, I really didn't want to do stuff with him just yet, just because we were transitioning from knowing each other as friends to talking and, you know, trying to see where things was gonna go. So I didn't really want to do things with him prematurely, but we grown, y'all. Things happen, like, and one thing about it, got to see it through.
Got to see it through, my boy.
God damn it. Yeah, I guess this is where we about to go. So, but honestly, I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't feeling him that way, or like if I wasn't attracted to him in that way. Like, it was turning me on. Like, I was in the mood, like, and you know, it felt right. So I did what I wanted to do. But if you don't feel like doing anything, guys, don't do it. You know, go with how you feeling. Like, if you feel like it's right, if you feel like you want to do it, then do it. Don't let nobody tell you what not to do. But if you're not feeling like, you know, it's right, you're not feeling it, you're not feeling the person, then don't do it. Just say stop, let them go home. It's your choice. But I felt like doing it in that moment, so I made that choice as an adult, and I did what I did. Just putting that out there. But yeah, so he kisses me on my lips, and then we start making out, and we just going at it. Like, we just tongue each other down. Yeah. So then he makes his way to my neck, and then he makes his way to my, you know, the girls. That was a done deal, y'all. It was like domino effect from there. So we just like on the couch, just taking off each other's clothes, and like we stand up, we're still kissing, and we're like walking to the bed while we're kissing and taking each other's clothes off. Yeah, movie type shit. So we get on the bed, boom. We do the do, and yeah, it was late, and I was tired. I know he probably was tired because he was doing a lot of running around that day too. And after we did what we did, we just laid on the bed and went to sleep. And yeah, but he was cuddling me the whole night, and it was chill. It was pretty chill. It was cool. So we cuddled the whole night, and it gets the morning time. Like, it was very early. Like, it had to be 4, 5, no later than 6 o'clock. Like, it was around that time. So y'all, I'm low-key a heavy sleeper. Like, if there's a lot going on, like, I will hear it, but I'll be like still in my sleep, if that makes sense. Like, I was literally half asleep, but I'm hearing like stuff in the background. Like, so y'all, all I hear is like him get up real fast and like run to the bathroom. Like, it was, yo, I never heard anybody move that fast in my life. So I'm like, I'm in my sleep, my eyes are still closed. I'm like, dang, like, I'm trying to wake myself up. I'm like, dang, what is going on? Like, what is all this noise I'm hearing? Like, this is crazy. Like, it was so, like, it was like he was moving. Like, you could even hear it on the floor. Like, he ran to the bathroom. So I'm wondering, like, dang, like, is he about to throw up? Like, I'm thinking something's really wrong. Like, I'm like, whoa. So then I'm like, I'm forcing myself to get up at this point. So I get up, still tired, crust probably all in my eye. Like, I'm like waking myself up. So he gets out the bathroom. He gets out the bathroom, y'all. And he comes back and he comes to the bed and he literally like pushes me over. So I'm wondering, like, why is this man pushing me over? Like, I'm thinking maybe, you know, he was trying to make space in the bed, or maybe I was like, you know, too close. I don't know. I'm like trying to think about, like, why is he pushing me over? So y'all, so he pushes me over and he says, I just peed the bed. So I'm like, no, it's no way. Literally, it's no freaking way. Like, that, I didn't believe him. So I'm like, Avion, stop playing. Stop playing, it's not funny. Like, this is not a joke. Like, what the heck are you talking about? Because honestly, like, that was the furthest thing from my mind that was going on. Because it's like, at this big age, why are you peeing the bed? So I automatically thought that he was playing with me because, you know, he is like a joker kind of. So I'm like, Avion, stop playing. Stop playing, stop playing, stop playing. Like, stop playing with me. For real, for real. So he's like, no, I'm not joking. Like, dead serious. Like, for real. So I'm like, I'm getting up now. Like, I'm like, with who? I'm like, there's no way. He was like, no, I'm serious. Like, I really just did that. So y'all, I take my hand and I'm like feeling in the bed. Y'all, it was a big ass wet spot. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? Like, the hell? So he's like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. He was like, you know, I don't know what happened. Maybe I had too much to drink before I went to bed. I don't know. Like, this is so embarrassing. So y'all, like, I'm the worst person for shit like this to happen to, because I hate awkward moments. I don't know how to like act in awkward moments. So I'm like trying to compose myself from laughing. Like, I'm just like, no, it's okay. Like, you know, don't worry about it. Like, I'm like, things happen. Like, I just want to forget it. Like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. Like, it's okay. Let it go, please. Like, I just want to forget this day even happened. Like, what do you mean? So I'm taking the sheets off the bed. He still apologized. And I could tell he was like very like embarrassed. But like, I don't know what to do. Like, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know like what was the right thing to say in this type of moment. Like, this stuff never, like, this has never happened to me. So I just didn't know what to say to him to comfort him. So, and I'm just like feeling secondhand embarrassment the whole time. So if y'all hear something like a squeaking in the background, it's my dog playing with his chew toy. Carmelo. Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know what to say. It was just so awkward, doll. Like, it's like you could cut the awkwardness with a butter knife. Like, doll, I don't know why this type of stuff always happens to me. Like, I just don't know. Like, I have the worst luck with men. Like, I just, ciao, honey boo. So yeah, after that, I honestly wanted to take the situation to the grave. Like, I just didn't want to tell anybody. It was just too embarrassing. But I was talking to my homegirl. Like, we've been friends for like 15 years. I consider her a sister. I consider her family. So like, and she's the only person I really tell certain things to. So I was like, I gotta call her and ask her like for her opinion, because honestly, when it happened, y'all, it kind of like turned me off a little bit from him. Like, I don't know, I love a manly man, and that just kind of gave me like childish. It was like, why are you peeing the bed at 23, 24? And I think it's 24. Yeah, he just turned 24 not too long ago. But yeah, I'm like, why are you peeing the bed at 23, 24? Something's not adding up. Like, I don't know. Like, so I'm like, I called her and I'm like, yo, like, this man just, you know, like, peed the bed. Like, how would you feel in a situation? Like, I don't know. Like, it was just mind-blowing to me. But she was just like, I can see why you're saying you're turned off. Like, I probably would be too. But she kind of put it in perspective for me. She was like, oh, you know, what if the tables were turned? What if, you know, like I was sleeping over his place and my period came on and I bled all over his bed? Like, you know, that would be awkward too, and that would be embarrassing too. So you kind of have to put yourself in perspective. And I'm like, yeah, but my period coming on unexpectedly and him peeing the bed is like literally kind of two different things, because I can't control, you know, my period coming on, but you can control your bladder. Like, I've been in dreams where I've had to use the bathroom and I get up and go use the bathroom. So it's like, I just couldn't wrap my head around how he ended up peeing the bed. Like, that, I don't know. Like, to this day, I don't know what the heck was going on with him. I didn't ask him anything. I kind of just like, I let it go. Like, I let the situation go because that was awkward. Like, it was so awkward, y'all. Like, honestly, yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, we actually stopped talking soon after that. He just wasn't giving what I wanted out of, you know, a man. So I had to cut that off just for me, because I know what I want moving forward with my dating life. And yeah, I just can't waste no time. So I did stop talking to him, but there's no bad blood. Like, still a cool person, still a cool guy. If I see him out, I don't know if I'll say hi, but yeah, there's no bad blood. Like, I just kind of left it at that. But yeah, that is my story time about the guy I was messing with and how he peed the bed. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you guys like this video and you guys want some more story times, then definitely leave that below. Let me know what you think about this story. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Love you guys.